Das der Familie.
Schulstunden nach den Sommerferien.
This is ISIS. We have hacked dysfunctional veterans radio to wage jihad on all DVs. Come at us, infidels. But not after 5 p.m. because we are fucking goats. And not on Thursdays because we are fucking each other. No, not that cell phone, Habib.
We now return you to our regularly scheduled program.
Please remember, the views and opinions expressed by this show or any other show on DV Radio and its guests are strictly those of said individuals and do not reflect those of the DV Radio staff nor the staff of dysfunctional veterans.
Let's get it started in here. Get this party started on a Saturday night. I'm on a highway to hell all night long.
'Cause I got friends in low places where
Play that funky music, white boy. And I don't wanna miss a thing.
Online and on the go on your mobile device.
Listeners' discretion is advised.
This is Barracks Talk. It's DV Radio.
Google broke the toilet.
But I think I just broke my desk.
Tonight, Google is planning on taking over the world.
You can dip Brussels sprouts in chocolate to make them look like cake pops.
$15 is a little steep for a bag of dicks. It should be like $14.99.
I'm pretty easy to please.
Not even want to touch it as much as I want to.
Are you sure?
And we just went there.
Boom, 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 boom.
Because this is how it is on DV Radio. Yeah, you listen to the podcast there, young man.
You're tuned in to WDVR on DVRadio.net or by searching DV Radio on your TuneIn app on your favorite mobile device.
Because this is how it is on DV Radio.
That's right. That is how it is. Right here on DVRadio.net. It's Barracks Talk Live. It is February 9th, 2019. I'm Boner Wood. We got DV6, Recoil, Google, and Oink. And somebody is rubbing against their mic, and I'm about to beat the shit out of you. I think it was
Not
Recoil.
me.
Of course it's not you, you dickbag. You just got back coming across the states again there, DV6. How you feeling?
Fuck you, dickbag. God. So, I'm in I'm near Mount Airy, North Carolina. I'm in Bo's front yard. Yeah.
Yep, you're in my front yard
again. This is a good layover spot. I was here on the second day of the trip, and now week 4, I'm back in North Carolina. We've been to San Antonio twice, Waurika, Oklahoma, Gulfport, Mississippi, Iowa, Louisiana. Where else? Cleveland, Tennessee.
Got him!
Oh, man. New Mexico. No, I haven't been to New Mexico. No, it's been a pleasure. I really haven't done any meetups or anything. I've been working with meeting people that relate to the nonprofits and the farm and other stuff. And then I squeezed in some family time. My dad's retired military too. You guys know that. So, and he's not getting any younger. He's like close to death. He's like 69, 70. Yeah. So, yeah, they say they could live to be 100, but that's just, what they say to get you to buy them. So, how's everybody doing?
Fantastic.
You didn't say that in the pre-show.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious is how I'm doing.
I'm trying to be positive and optimistic.
Yeah?
Since when?
My hardest thing has been not to, how do you say this? When I'm talking to the wife up in New Hampshire and I ask them for the farm report, how the farm manager's doing, how the residents doing, and I get texts like, "We're getting another foot of snow. How's it down there?" I gotta be low key and go, "Oh, you guys are so lucky. You know how much I like the snow and the cold. I can't stand." And meanwhile, I've got the AC going on the truck. It's 75. I gotta be careful not to play it up too much.
No boo fucking who.
Do you think we don't know this?
I don't know. Well, it's cold now. You know how I know it's cold?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Well, in San Antonio, when it gets down to 50, they're wearing winter coats, hats, gloves, and stuff. Apparently, though, in North Carolina, though, people are pretty normal when it's in the 30s. I only saw one guy in shorts, at Tractor Supply.
It was nice on Tuesday. It was 60 degrees out.
What, up there?
Yeah, T-shirts. It was good.
What the Al Gore is that shit?
I know,
what
right?
The Al Gore is that shit?
That global warming didn't last very long because the next day it was back below zero.
It was more like a global temporary warning.
I know,
right?
It's like, now that we've given you a taste, we'll go back to our regular scheduled program.
We're like, that fucking Pennsylvania groundhog is right. No, he's not.
Yeah, Hillary saw her shadow, so 4 more years of not being president. Heard that one. Oh, there's going to be a lot to talk about after we get the boring stuff out of the way between the State of the Union and Cortez and Pelosi and, sex traffickers,
we talk about politics on this show.
What?
We talk about current events.
What? No, DV isn't current.
I mean, I know sometimes my the Super Bowl. Martha was right. Patriots were going to win. The memes were gold. Come on, do something. The thing with the stick, that was funny.
What was that, like a bowl of nachos or something that was really big? Like, did it make Guinness Book World Records or something?
I don't know.
You
but
said
did you
Super
know?
Bowl.
So, all right. Oh, but anyhow, before we go any further, I just got to let you guys know, the DV store now offers a Heart of Dicks. Need the perfect Valentine's gift for that very special person in your life? Anonymously send them a heart full of dicks. This heart-shaped can is filled with a colorful assortment of candy dicks. The outside of the can will have the recipient excited to see someone cared enough to send them super premium hard candy. When they open the tin, they'll be surprised to see hundreds of little candy penises, along with a message on the inside cover that reads, "Someone wants you to eat a heart full of dicks." That's right, a heart full of dicks. When you care to say that, send the set. Jody sends you this. Whatever, I'll just keep reading. I can't live. We can ship this right to any address you wish. Just enter the shipping address at checkout. Go to mydvstore.com. Your information will not be included with the shipment, and we never reveal a customer's information unless we are compelled to by a court, which thus far has not happened. DV does not condone sending this item to harass any person. Our lawyers make us say that. Also, I'll save this commercial after we talk a little, then I'll go to this one next. Okay. What else? So I posted, listen, this one is a peeve of mine. Now, you guys recoil. You've seen the bird. Even Bo, in your house, you've seen this bird. And Google, you definitely know. But there's a few people who actually own sun conures and some who don't that are saying that DV6, did a hell of a job photoshopping Huey to make it look like she was flying outside. Really? One, me Photoshop? I have no idea how that shit works. Two, if you only knew that. There's video of that bird flying different than that, what you see. But she flies. She's fallen off the truck in traffic while I've been going down the road and flew to catch up. She knows how to do that. That bird is skillful. I'm insulted that you would think that I photoshopped.
Well, we are DB.
This is what politics has become now, where you accuse the other side of photoshopping. It's a fucking cool shot, though. I was actually trying to take a picture of her perched on the mirror as I was driving through the parking lot. She does that sometimes if I'm driving under 10 miles an hour. She kept flying in. So I happened to catch it. The camera was late. I looked at the photo of her sitting on the mirror, and instead it's this, rawr, my little eagle. So, and anyhow. Oh, all right. So, going into winter survival packs for the homeless vets. You guys know we've done this already. After handing out 1,000 winter survival kits to homeless veterans on the streets in Boston and Worcester, Mass. in December, we have found there's still a need for us to help as many more homeless veterans stay warm. You guys, please help us reach our goal of supplying vets on the street with another 1,000 winter survival kits. You can pledge as little half a bag or up to multiple bags. It has, each bag contains a sweatshirt, blanket, hat, gloves, hand warmer pads, socks, thermal socks, underwear, hygiene kit, poncho, flashlights, and assorted snacks. The winter survival pack will not be mailed to you. DV will hand the bags out. You purchased to homeless vets. So listen, we're at 780 bags. We'd like to hit our goal. We're 78% of the goal. Go to mydvstore.com and click on the picture there of the homeless vet, and it will take you to the order information. And when I get back up to New Hampshire, Google, I already talked to the office trying to get volunteers in there to pack those bags so that when I get back up there, after I get fully caught up on everything, I'm going to hit the road. I've seen, since I've been on this road trip, I didn't realize how cold. Like, we make jokes about it, it's in the 50s or the 40s or the 30s down south. But it routinely dips into the 20s and 30s in places like San Antonio, Atlanta, here. And so I don't see why we can't, help. I'm sure people don't think about that. And we can come back down here and hit the streets here and see if we can't assist some of the homeless vets. What do you think? What do you think?
Sure.
Oh, my aching ass. Don't everybody jump in. Okay. Oh, I don't know, DB6. I want to be quiet. That seems crazy. Whoa.
Most of us probably thought you were talking to Google and asking for her approval, not our approval, seeing as how you said, hey, Google, I was thinking.
Then there's always the possibility that we intentionally leave you hanging.
All right.
Welcome to DV Radio.
The place where we leave you hanging. Fuck you.
The clock is ticking down. We had originally tried to close this out today. It's 2 hours, 45 minutes left. Go to mydvstore.com. But we are going to extend it. Because in order for us to do this, and to get bang for the buck, we purchase these items, individually by the 1,000. 1,000 hoodies, 1,000 ponchos, and this and that. So that's why we're trying to hit the 1,000 goal. There's a big difference in cost. And of course, then we have all the logistics of trying to get the bags from the warehouse to where they're actually needed to the vets on the street. And it's not, after doing it a few times, it's not as easy as you might think. So we work with other nonprofits that have boots on the ground in these cities. So they can't thank you guys enough for making that happen before. If you go to the main Facebook page, you can see some of the video of us hitting the streets of Boston and Worcester. We're really grateful. All right, so big night tonight, and damn, I've only been talking 14 minutes. What the fuck? So how are things going, everybody? Talk to me. Not like it's a pre-show or nothing, right?
I got we can talk about politics.
Well,
I
thought you were going to bring up where the DV farm was in the news this week.
Oh, glad I got you. Last night, on Chronicle and Channel 5 in Boston. Link is posted on the page and on the farm page. We were featured again on Chronicle. I've yet to watch the one that was aired. I've just watched the exact clip, but I didn't see the show. But they featured our residents and the farm. They spent all day there. Unfortunately, they didn't do a whole segment. They did other farms too. But it was a great PR. But I can't thank Chronicle of Channel 5, WCBB in Boston for featuring us. I wish you'd come back up and see how much more has been done since you were last here. Excuse me. I'd ask Google how it was, but she hasn't watched it yet. So, did anybody that's listening watch it? Did DB Oink, did you watch it?
Yeah, I watched the one you put there in the radio chat. I thought they did a decent job.
Yeah. If you guys, in all seriousness, like I do these interviews all the time, and one of the things that happens is they yell at me for my hand movements, tapping my feet, profanity, bouncing, bebopping, and it's hard. It's hard. And then I'm chasing rabbits, and then the radio, the bird. So they did a real good job. They got me out of the office and into the vet house, sat me down in the middle of the room, took everything away from me, phones, and but
He's not teabagging the camera, you know.
And then they took clips of me. They didn't if you watch a whole long segment of me, it's like, oh, people are saying, what are you on drugs? How much do you drink? I don't. It's just my head injuries. It's difficult at times. But I think they did a good job piecing that together to where I sounded sane, rational. I mean, in all seriousness, we know what the fuck we're doing. I mean, we nail it with the vets. We're trying to break the cycle of what they've been in. The vets out there, for those who don't know, these aren't your typical homeless vets. We're looking for the ones that have done the programs constantly and are yet still on the street trying to break the cycle, the addiction, and all that. And those are the ones we take. They're not the easy ones. You can go, the VA has a 30-day program. There are other drug and alcohol programs. You can pay thousands of dollars and go to those ones in Hollywood, I don't know what they do out there, but if people are paying that much, it must be doing something. But I'm looking for
do drugs.
Do they? Really?
In a lot of them, they do.
Man, if I was still doing this stuff, that would be I'm going to detox. I'm going to Beverly Hills. But again, in all seriousness, we take them there, and they're not force-fed classes. All the guys out there could teach the damn classes. What they're given is a ton of responsibility, and they're working with people who have been there themselves in the same shoes. It's not a college kid that's never drank before, had a blackout, or never been in the military. These are people like me, Google, the farm manager, and then they get peer counseling within the house from people that have lasted a year or 2 years, and then they get that sobriety under their belt. And that's the big thing. Without the sobriety under their belt, without an extended period of time under their belt, going through the natural highs and lows of life, they're not going to succeed. So, and it's working. It's working. I like what's going on out there, and continue going. And if you want to support the DV Farm, there's many ways you can do it. Smile.amazon.com. Select DV Farm as your charity of choice, and a portion of Amazon's money that they make, they'll donate to the farm. You can donate directly on the farm website. What else, Bo? What's other ways that they can help?
Facebook fundraisers.
The birthday fundraisers have been godsend. Yep.
Smile.amazon.com.
That's the first one I mentioned there. Cool.
But but you didn't tell them how to do it there, Six.
Okay, but I know we'll cover that.
They can also give directly at dvfarm.org. Just click on the donate tab once you enter the site.
If you do it that way, then I don't have to wait on the money.
Okay, and why would you you get it yourself?
No, I mean
that's what it sounded like.
No.
Holy shit.
That is not what I meant.
She's like, Mama needs a new car.
Oh man.
Oh my God.
No, that is not what I meant.
Well,
That's
thanks.
what
I meant that we don't have to wait for the money so we can actually buy things that we need for the farm to
Yeah.
make improvements and all that fun stuff.
Please
Well,
don't say
well,
that in the future.
well, I'll do you a solid this time, Six. I'll edit that part out.
Hey, the thing is, the farm doesn't receive state or federal funding, and at times, like right now, after the holidays and all that, we're going month to month with the budget. It's like that. And speaking of the budget, I thought we had enough for the lumber, but apparently last time I talked to the farm manager, the lumber still haven't been able to get it. So,
Well, there's this thing called a heating bill.
I
kind of have to pay.
Can I finish? Yeah. So, the Kwanzaa hut's up, and what we're supposed to be doing this winter is having the men, part of the program, is they're building the stalls inside the Kwanzaa hut. We need about, I thought it was like between $5,000 and $8,000 of lumber. So, if you're listening, and I know there's a few already who are trying to work to do fundraising and all that, and then, Oink, I think you got one out for $2,800.
Yeah, I got one out there for $2,800. The goal was to try to raise $100 a day for the whole month of February as a birthday fundraiser. So
that's
I
why
had to
you
start
picked
it a little early in case I got banned again. So
Well, we're up to almost $2,000. I'll get that up on the page again. You should post that to the Facebook page, DV, once a day.
If that one's at 2,800, then we're over $2,000. 6.
Okay, you just confused the fuck out of me.
That confused the shit out of me. You're not the only one there, Six. I got confused as fuck, too. When I heard that, I was like, wait, what? I thought we had none.
When I ask you to talk, nobody talks. And then
Well, your time is up.
No, it's not. It's 9:22.
Yeah, your time is up. 9:22. DV6's time ends. I did not say that. I said bring that up at 9:25.
It is now 9:22. You're listening to DV Radio, but I do have one last, and that's the one. You guys sidetracked me.
This dickhead.
All of our non-talking sidetracked.
Wait a second. Wait a second. This is what 6 really is.
You're a cock, you're a cock, you're a cock.
Yes!
Funny. Now, where's Google on my thing? Hold on.
Oh
Why
my
don't you
God.
push a button, Google, on the
Fuck.
chat? Oh, there you are. Right
Jesus. There's your title, Bo.
All right.
Google is on DV6's thing.
That's better than Bo giving me a tune-up.
Right.
All right, listen, what most of you all don't know, if you watch the State of the Union address, which I did, so didn't Google, one of the things that, and if you watch it, you'll know what I'm talking about. Pelosi had a whole bunch of sheets of paper. And during the entire State of the Union speech, every so often she would pick up these papers and start looking at them and get all confused. So I'm texting Google back up in the Hampshire going, what the fuck is she reading on those papers? Every time he talks about something, she goes to those papers, looks fucked up, confused. Well, the next day, I find out what most of us didn't know was what Trump did. You were looking right at it. Trump sent a copy of his speech to all the Democrats, who immediately wrote scripts to trash his speech before the address and right after the address based on the copy he had sent them. Then he gave a completely different speech. All their rebuttals were 100% off base. That's why Nancy Pelosi was looking at all that paper during Trump's speech, because she realized she got sandbagged by the master. Trump didn't put into his copy he gave to the Democrats anything about Buzz Aldrin, the cancer kid, the ICE agent, the military men, the ones everybody applauded, because he knew they were never geared, never to stand and applaud no matter what he said. But to not clap for those heroes showed them as evil. Then he pointed out that the ladies took 58% of the seats in D.C. All those ladies in white stood up. Remember what Trump said? Hey, you weren't supposed to do that, remember? Now social media is killing the Democrats for not only standing for everything. That's fucking funny as fuck. I mean, think about that. She kept looking at it like, what's he talking about? No, you ever look at something like and somebody's going off script and we're like DV radio itinerary.
I was about to say, like the itinerary that you never followed because your time ended at 9:22, as it says in bold red on an itinerary. And you're on that's at 9:25. It's only 9:22.
So if
do we have an itinerary?
Is that why the response that Stacey Abrams gave was more like her 2020 campaign speech?
Yeah. Well, I got to turn this back over. I'm sure we'll have more time to talk about it, but I just thought I'd let everybody know of that little tidbit. Thank you. I'm going to mute because I know if I don't, I'll screw this up.
See, the reason I had him to bring it up at 9:25 was because I was going to take us in the break with that, and he just shot his load, and I can't take us in the break with that because now I have to.
You said 9:22. Do it, then you just change it to you fucking.
He said no. He said 9:25.
I know he did, and then he said it's 9:22 now.
You're not listening, Six. Your time
Whatever.
ends at 9:22. I told you, no matter who's talking at 9:25 to bring up the Pelosi thing, so I could take us into break at 9:30.
Oh, all right. Bring up the Pelosi thing.
Kind of a bit too late now, isn't it?
All right, can we get back on track?
Now we go.
Just so everybody knows, you're listening to DV Radio, where we're dysfunctional as fuck and we are not professionals. So yeah, we got a little bit to do tonight. As Six said, we still need lumber for the farm, so go to smile.amazon.com, make DV Farm your charity of choice. At checkout, no hidden fees or extra costs, and a portion of that goes directly to the DV Farm. That's smile.amazon.com, make DV Farm your charity of choice. Also, another way to make sure that we get that lumber is you can send Home Depot gift cards to the DV Farm. If you go to dvfarm.org, look at the very bottom, there's the address that you need to send those to. And if you want to give a monetary donation on the same website, that's dvfarm.org, go into the website, click on the donate tab, and you can use PayPal. And if you don't have PayPal, you can use a credit or debit card. You do not have to have a PayPal account. Oh my God, that was so much to say in so little time. So yeah, that was that. Yeah. So, Mike, how you doing? You gotta unmute.
Hanging in there. Sorry, I was coughing and hacking. I didn't think you wanted to hear that. Yeah, getting a cold back. I don't think I ever lost it, but not too bad. Had a couple shakers earlier this week. I think I sent you a little Snapchat of that. We had a 4.1 and then followed like 5-10 minutes later with a 3.7. So, it's better to get them out in little doses than one big one. So I'm not going to complain too much, I guess.
And all of these that are still going on are still aftershocks as they deem them, correct?
That is correct. Until they get back down to I think it was a rate of like 1 every 10 minutes until they average out to about that again, which they said could take up to a year. They're all going to be considered aftershocks. So,
I mean, that's funny because that's funny because anywhere that has earthquakes every year generally has small ones that happen at least once every 5 to 8 minutes. That's what I find odd about that. But anyway, I don't know. We do need to go to break here in about a minute and a half. Do we have even stories tonight there, Google, for junk that's in the news?
Yes, we do.
Okay, because Oink asked me. He said there's 2 at the bottom for the same thing. It's just 2 different links, and he was like, "Is 6 all right?" And I was like, "Yeah, I guess."
This would be. This sounds like stuff that should be covered in the pre-show.
I'm aware about those 2 links. Thank you.
Well, 6. See, I had to cover up, 4.5 minutes because you failed to do what I told you to do because you don't listen in the pre-show. But we do need to go to break. I'm going to mute everybody out so that DV6 can't say anything there. Oh, got you muted. And I'll unmute Recoil because he'll mute himself. Anyway, we do need to go to break. You're listening to Barracks Talk right here on dbradio.net. DV Radio.
Thank you for being a friend.
You're tuned into DV Radio, the internet's #1 most hated veteran radio station online.
That's all, folks.
Dead air.
You're listening to WDVR, only on DVRadio.net.
You are listening to DVRadio.net, WDVR Barracks Talk. You're either listening to us live or on podcast. Either way, you're listening to us. I'm Boner Wood. We got DV6 somewhere in the mix. Google, Recoil, and we've got Oink dealing with his aftershocks in Alaska, north to Alaska. Anyway, so how was everybody's week?
Cover this already?
Good.
I said week.
I'm just wondering.
Because then I normally, after the second break, go down and say, okay, so Recoil, what'd you do this week?
Worked my ass off like every other week.
So we know next week we don't have to ask Recoil.
Right.
Well, sometimes
Life is really not exciting.
Sometimes Recoil does things that he doesn't tell me during the week, and then he tells us on Saturday, so it's news to us all. That's why I always ask. Is that such a fucking crime?
Is.
Fuck this shit. I quit.
I appreciate that you act like you care.
Google, how was your week feeding the dogs fish?
It was good. Hey, he goes crazy for that thing, alright?
You have a dogfish?
Yeah. It's a
Until
little
he buries it under your pillow again.
No, he don't. You think he's gonna bury that? Hell no. he tries to snatch it out of my hand before he even got close. Then I yell at him. I'm like, I don't think so, mister. Oh, man.
She sent us this picture of this fucking fish. It's not a sardine, it's a fucking, what's the word?
It's a capelin.
Yeah, so it looks disgusting, to say the fucking least. It's probably, it's probably one taste higher than a sardine is what it is.
You know what's funny about you saying that? So, on last Sunday, I went and I saw my kids, and I had brought 2, and I gave Storm 1, but my son wanted to give it to him, and he's inspecting this thing, and he thought it was pretty cool. My niece didn't really have an opinion either way, and then before he gives it to Storm, he goes, "Oh my God, you can see its eye." I'm like, I know, it's a whole fish. So he gives it to him, right? So then I put the baggie on my front seat in my car because I knew that I was taking my daughter to go get my car washed. And she gets in. I'm like, "Don't sit on that." She goes, "Oh, I know. I see the feather." And in my head, I'm like, she'll realize that it's not a feather. And she did. And she goes, "Oh, wait, it's not a feather. What is this thing? Ew, that's so gross." I'm like, it's a fish. He loves these. It was so funny. And like, she didn't even touch it. It was in a plastic baggie.
I bet it felt all squishy.
No, it doesn't, because it's dried. It's not slimy or anything.
Oh my God, just ruin it. Ruin it for us all, Google. Thanks a lot, God damn it. Hey, Oink, how's your week been?
Kind of like Recoil's, kind of uneventful, minus the ground shaking. Go to work, come home, sleep, repeat.
Are the kids still yelling?
No, I think he left. So he's
left.
done yelling at Call of Duty.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck it, Dad, I'm out of here. Fuck you too.
Oh, wait.
He's got his own truck now, so
Do what, Google?
I said, you can't leave.
I was talking about Oink's kids saying that to him. Dang.
Kind of like Marquis, you get a handful. They range from 25 to 6, so.
Oh yeah, talking about Marquis. He dresses up nicely, don't he? He looked cute tonight.
He cleans up pretty good, don't he?
Yeah, he looks
sure
sexy.
did look mighty handsome.
I wanted a taste of that chocolate.
Careful.
What? I'm talking about Marquis. I know.
I think we should send him a heart of dicks.
From Randy. Yeah, let's get that going again.
Let's not and see we did. Oh man, we'll get in so much trouble.
Oh shit.
Marquis will feel like I'm never talking to you fuckers ever again.
We would all be fucked on that one.
Oh yeah.
We would all be fucked. Yeah. That would get us a good time. Go ahead.
So to clarify, Marquis took his beautiful daughter out for daddy-daughter dance night.
Yes.
Yeah. Thanks. I lost my train of thought.
Now you know what it's like for me.
So that's my brain on autopilot right now. Shit, fuck a bitch. Damn it. Oh, what I was going to say is that Up in Arms has some episodes ready for us to start broadcasting again. So all of you that miss Up in Arms podcast, don't fret. They've come back. They've got a few episodes lined up for us to air for you guys, and it'll be on its original time that I can't remember. So I'm going to have to go look at the Google Calendar because I'm a fucking retard like that. You know, I'm a dumbass like that. Damn it. I'm on my personal Google Calendar. I can't see it. Oh, it's Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tomorrow night, however, we have a very special service dog show. It features that chick, and that also has PTSDog Joaquin Watai on there. And tomorrow night's service dog show, they will be talking about her struggles with access being denied, her and her service dog by the VA, and what steps they're taking to address this injustice. Again, that's tomorrow night, Sunday, February 10th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on dvradio.net.
Yay!
Yahoo! I can't wait. It's so fun.
And actually, I was supposed to have his ad in tonight. Kind of forgot to put it in.
Well,
So,
I guess you just did it.
hush!
So while I'm here, you gotta get that. You gotta help me fix my iPad or whatever it is, so I can get that backseat navigator on my iPad. That's our sponsor.
Right.
Yes, if you didn't know, Nightcap Productions, Mr. Billy King, who is the creator of What the Forecast, that's a weather app, hilarious, go grab it right now, as well as Backseat Navigator, it's even more hilarious. If you ever wanted a navigator, GPS, to tell you where to go, but be a dick about it as they tell you, get Backseat Navigator from Nightcap Productions. Again, that is DV Radio's sponsor, and we cannot thank Nightcap Productions enough. Also, another sponsor that we have is Ubora Coffee Roasters. Head over to uboracoffee.com. Look for the DV Radio coffee that we got. Battlegrounds, it's under the Partners tab. It's only $10 per bag, and a portion of that goes directly to the DV Radio to help us run the website, pay for music license, all that jizzy jazz, because, you know, the shit ain't free for us, but it's free for you. Yeah.
So the backseat navigator is like having Google with you. Oh man, you guys just suck tonight.
I've never ridden with Google, so I can't confirm
good,
nor deny that.
I'm a good co-pilot.
No, you are. You really are. On the trips. We used the backseat navigator when we were going somewhere once. Hers works better. I didn't do it right, but on her phone, it's pretty hilarious.
Yep.
I figured you might elaborate a little. Well, you guess you can't explain it. So what else? What else do we have to talk about?
Well, you said
next?
you wanted to talk about something else in the second part of the show, and nobody knew what the fuck you wanted to talk about because you're like,
oh, we have all this stuff. Yeah, like we prepped for in the pre-show. You know? Remember? Where everybody was like,
wait. Every day, every Saturday, I ask DV6, is there anything we need to get out during the show, and is there anything he wants me to put in the itinerary just in case he goes to sleep early? No. He'll give me one or two things, and he's like, I'll do the rest when I'm on the show. I'm like, okay. Come fucking showtime, I don't know what the fuck Mr. DV6 wants to talk about, so I can't say anything. But today he's like, I got a lot to put out tonight, and we can talk about most of it during the second part. And I'm like, okay, so DV6, what is all the stuff you wanted to talk about during the second part of the show?
We had all the news that happened this week. I mean, it's insane what's going on in this country.
Well, that's what I just was saying, Six.
I mean, how can you not talk about
we don't talk about politics, so
I did not say we don't. I said, we talk about politics on this show?
Can we get on with it? All right, enough, children. Jesus Christ, man, come on.
There it is.
Are you doing drugs? Bo takes a Pepto-Bismol, whatever, and then his little nurse that comes over, she's not the best, but sees his tongue is black because he, took some Pepto-Bismol, and sometimes it can turn your tongue black because it's full of iron. She saw it, and in Bo's house, I mean, they're a lively bunch, but they're not loud. Well, when this woman talked, are you doing drugs?
Yeah, straight up. Because, like, the back of my tongue was black. She's like, oh, my God, are you doing drugs? I'm like, what? And everybody got loud at that point. And I'm like, just shut up. I took a Pepto this morning at, like, 5 o'clock, okay?
But are you doing drugs?
Exactly.
No, the VA is my only dealer. But again, look, you guys that are young, maybe you should be worried. I mean, people like me, I'm coasting downhill now. But the way, how can these people get elected? And then, don't they understand the whole reason this country was founded is because they left one fucking government already? What are they teaching in school? Does anybody do math anymore? I'm not the smartest person, but, when you're throwing all these things out there about the government should do this, the government should do that. When you talk about health care, that's a big, getting rid of the health industry and health insurance and stuff. And the government should give you free medical. Talk to any veteran about that. They'll clue you in on that one. What else, Google?
Yeah, I don't know what they're actually teaching in school. I know that they don't teach economics, considering someone has an economics degree and knows jack shit about it.
Well, crazy stuff.
I know.
Crazy. Everything just give away for. I'll tell you what, you don't even need facts anymore. You just make shit up. I mean, everybody's got identity. I mean, now I understand what they mean about identity politics and intersectionality. Intersectionality, I don't understand.
Have you guys seen that Facebook video where they're out in a protest or whatever, and the chick's like, facts don't matter, opinions are fact. And the guy's like, so science is fake? And she's like, it doesn't matter because I rule. And I'm like, you rule? What? She was so fucked up in the moment. She had no clue what was coming out of her mouth.
Even, the YouTube reporters, some of these YouTube personalities go to these protests. And if he does get somebody to answer his questions, it's rare. But when he goes, what exactly is your stand on this? Not talking to you. Fascists. There's no debate anymore.
It's insane. Hold on. So a few weeks ago, AOC came out and said that the world is ending in 12 years, right? We all remember this. And then this week she's continuing to talk about this Green New Deal. But we only have 12 years to make everything happen. And one of the things is to tear down and rebuild all the all the buildings in the United States, and they're gonna have to build like 33,000 a day just to replace them all in 10 years.
What are they building?
And then
Is this the same lady?
all the towers and all the buildings in the United States they want to rebuild.
Yeah, I thought it included houses too, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
Get a new house out of those people. Come on.
This is the same lady who just became a millionaire, too. How long has she been in Congress? Did you guys know that? She signed that.
Went from bartender to millionaire.
Well, it's actually, she's only going to get $300,000 of that if she takes her 70% tax out of it.
She won't.
Of course not.
So another part of this Green New Deal is that we're going to get rid of all airplanes. You can travel everywhere by train.
All combustible engines. Combustible engines. So no trains, no cars.
So
nothing.
Obama's Transcontinental Railroad's going to come into play.
I know.
Right? So we can get a trip to Indonesia on a train.
Exactly. And
Hawaii on a train. Yes.
Hawaii.
She wants to get rid of all cow farts.
How are you? Your voice is getting lower. I can't hear you.
What?
Your sound is going down.
I have not changed anything.
She's going down, down, down with the mic going lower.
What else? Yeah, it'll put us back to the dark ages. I wonder how they'll do submarines. Wooden submarines?
Well, they're going to have to be made out of wood and solar powered.
We're all going to have to live in a yellow submarine.
No, a wooden submarine. We
Right,
all
no, a wooden
live in a wooden submarine. Oh, man.
No, we're just going to go back to Zeppelins filled with helium. They're hydrogen.
Well, I mean, I guess we could do that. Take that. I mean, what's our Air Force going to do? We're not going to have any fucking planes, so why do we need an Air Force?
Now, you do realize, this whole green shit, there is the whole global warming shit has been a scam. And if you don't know that, you need to do your homework and all that. The carbon dioxide that is not affecting the planet, okay? The temperatures since 1998 have been going down. What NASA and the official temperature records going all the way back 100 years, what people have been doing, some of these scientists have been doing, they're readjusting the data to try and show that it was warmer. If you look at the original data to the new data, it's been tampered with. But the planet has not been warming since 1998. It's actually been cooling, which goes along with the thousands of years of core samples that we rise and fall. The temperature does and stuff like that. So that's all bullshit. And carbon dioxide is good for the earth because plants, helps plants and shit.
Right.
But I'm trying to find the one. We're talking about some of the stupid shit that I've seen.
All right, so hold on. So remember when Trump was on the campaign trail and he was talking about how he wants to drain the swamp and he wants to get rid of lawmakers becoming lobbyists within X amount of time, and he listed all this stuff, right? So today I'm listening to the fake Indian, Elizabeth Warren, her campaign speech announcement that she's running for president, which we've all known for the past year that she was going to do. And she said, I'm going to stop the corruption in Washington and I'm going to do it by doing this. And she named all the things that Trump campaigned on.
Wow.
They're all cheering. Woo! I'm like, you guys are so fucking retarded.
So in one of those crazy ass parts of the other segment of the population, they're trying to convince me that gulags, all this stuff we say about gulags are actually good and that we have been taught wrong, So gulags, they say the first myth to debunk in the gulag, like in the Soviet Union, you work until you die in a gulag. The Soviets did away with life sentences and the longest sentence was 10 years. Capital punishment was reserved for the most heinous serious crimes. Why? Because their penal system was a rehabilitation. They're trying to say that we need to bring back the gulags here to re-educate people. There's an actual story on the Telegraph .com from England about this. It's the Holocaust ain't real, and this is
we're gonna do socialism the right way.
Oh yeah. We're all done. We'll go broke. I'll spoil it. But anyhow, all right. Now my head hurts. Oh man, my God. There's no such. Man, educational work was also a prominent feature of the Soviet penal system. There were regular classes, book clubs, newspaper, editorial teams, and the Gulag.
Oh, man.
Oh, they are out of their fucking rocker!
I don't understand how you can be so fucking stupid. And then on top of that, how people can vote for you when you're that fucking stupid.
Well, she says, AOC says, you can't throw me out of a helicopter without fossil fuels.
Well, she also said that
funny.
Being 35 to be president doesn't apply to me because I'm a woman and the Constitution only specifies men.
Yeah, well, she wants to make the Electoral College tuition free.
I know, right?
Come on, that's...
She's a potato.
Anyhow, I think she's
Glad her name's
secretly
not
working
Todd.
for Trump to destroy the Democratic Party. Oh man,
It's so funny. They're all talking about
trains, government guaranteed job, free education and housing. Is this the Hunger Games? It's crazy.
It is. I don't understand. Like, I really don't.
Well, I do because certain media companies are promoting it. And, it's all funny. It's funny now, but it's not going to be funny. What do you think we're going to be at in 10 years?
Well, if AOC is correct, then we'll be 2 years from the world ending in 10 years.
Well, you better get that room built.
Well, I was getting ready to say, if you guys got an uncle that might have left you $2,000 or $200,000 in his will, please let me know so I can get this room built. The VA isn't going to do it.
So you can be incinerated in your own room.
Right.
Wait, but the VA said that they would build it for you.
If you build it, I will roll in there.
No, I'm saying the VA said that they would build it for you.
If they build it, I will roll in there.
If they build it, he will come.
Oh, I will come.
Repeatedly.
Over and over and over and over. I'll be like the Energizer Bunny without batteries. Screw the Energizer. Just give me some ramen noodles, bitch. Make me a sandwich. I need some energy.
Yeah, I got it. I got it right here. What you were talking about, Google. So it's just bear with me. It says this Jeffrey Tucker on socialism about this proposal to end air travel. He says, I'm driving down the road. I'm seeing all kinds of trucks. Many are driving food to grocery stores to put on shelves. That way, people can buy the food, take it home, and eat it as part of living a happy life. The food was grown on land, plowed by tractors that use internal combustion. Lots of it was flown in from abroad on planes that also use gasoline. Thank goodness no crazy person is pushing for this to be abolished by force of law. Oh, wait a moment. Someone is. Many people are. I just read about it here. In a couple of days, I'll board a plane that will take me in 2 hours to the completion of a trip that would have required months of travel 200 years ago, if I have made it at all. As I prepare my things, I'm struck by what I read from a highly celebrated member of Congress and endorsed by many of her colleagues, using freshly printed and tax money. She says the government should build out high-speed rail at a scale where air travel stops becoming necessary. Well, so much for visiting Europe. Actually, so much for visiting anywhere outside your local community. So much for world trade. So much for eating food not grown in your backyard. Actually, so much for life on Earth as we know it. The end of air travel and the end of industrial farming are just two pieces of a massive transformation of our society proposed in the Green New Deal, which is explained in a document where it reads like a nightmare fantasy of the GOP. Some of the strangest agenda points for government to do: upgrade or replace every building in the U.S., provide job training and education to all, stop using fossil fuels for energy needs, which means ending 78% of the current energy consumption, reorientate our entire economy to work off renewable energy, like sun, wind. Like the state of nature of starvation and early death, it won't happen because the tooth fairy will give us economic security for all who are unable or unwilling to work, provided we replace every combustion engine vehicle, pay for it with a carbon tax that would only cover a tiny part of the necessary mass confiscation. What could go wrong? Yeah, it's just, it's all BS, not the article, the shit. Well, one good way to wreck our economy is people to buy into this shit.
Well, don't forget, she also wants to make sure that everyone gets paid, even if they're unwilling to work.
You know that, how do you say that word that I mispronounce all the time? The bread company? Oh.
Merida?
Panera?
Oh, Panera. Yeah, Panera.
So you said it right this time.
It's a restaurant, not a bread company.
Whatever.
That's what threw me off.
It does have bread in the name. Panera Bread.
It's kind of like the Cheesecake Factory. They're not just cheesecake.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they had those two restaurants where remember last year, they got all the publicity where they were like, if you pay what you want to pay, and if you don't want to pay, you don't pay. Well, both of them went out of business this month. They shut their doors.
Yeah, see, to be able to do that, it has to be like a go in, do it yourself type of deal where you don't pay employees, you don't have much overhead and stuff like that. There's no fucking way you can run a business like Panera Bread and expect to make a profit from it. There's no fucking way. People aren't that fucking generous.
Well, yeah. Well, but unfortunately, you're a minority in knowing that, So, well. Yeah. So, it's 10:05. Do you know where your DV is at? Yeah. Well, I know where mine's at. She just announced.
I do want to give a quick shout out to the mods in training. We have another group in training right now.
Tell me what's going on. But recall we did a video. What was it, last week, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, and we actually got a lot of volunteers. And we weeded through them and picked the best of the best and or the most promising anyway. And they all seem to be doing really well. And actually, it looks like about have enough for a second class after this class is done. So
that's good.
Right now it looks really good, and we thank them all for being there, and don't fuck up because we'll give you the boot.
What kind of stuff are you teaching them in the class?
Kind of hesitate to get into that too much. But
bullet points.
Yeah, but yeah, mostly just how to work the page. And what other organizations we work with and how we contact them and what resources are available out there and what the qualifications are for those resources. So, the last thing you want to do is send somebody that's, already stressed out, worried, and having a problem, and then you send them to a resource that's a dead end. So you kind of have to know what resources they're going to qualify for before you even try to hook them up.
But what kind of work will they be doing on the DV page if they pass their training and probation?
Well, it's not the fun and game stuff. They're actually watching the page, both on the visitor side and in all of the comment threads and posts and everything going on, looking for brothers and sisters that are reaching out for some assistance.
Do you have to have any kind of license, or do they have to go to school? Have to have a particular background to do this?
Not necessarily. A lot of it's OJT, on the job training. Plus, we're basically like a triage where we get veterans to the proper resources. I mean, if they really require special care, There's other organizations that are much better suited for that, and that's where we get them to, like true professionals.
I know it's more than just communicating and talking to a vet on Facebook. Like one of the things like you teach them that people don't realize, there's a lot of technicality shit that goes in. And even myself, running the page, being the head of the organization, still have trouble with. But you teach them these things, and those are like how to use an app, their phone versus a computer, and links, and there's how to classify if a vet is, how serious it is. Can you tell a little bit about that? Like
I mean, most of it's just stuff that was learned the hard way. When it comes to dealing with brothers and sisters, how to recognize what are flags. Because sometimes, people are making just a joke, but there's something behind that joke, and sometimes it's just a joke. It never hurts to say, "Hey, brother, how are things going? Are you doing all right?" Or "Sister."
Yeah. And a lot of SOPs to learn too. Huh?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of do's and don'ts.
So, and this is both for men or women, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
And you had mentioned that you're hoping to get another class started. If people are interested, how can they apply?
Well, basically just keep an eye out on the page, and when the time comes, if we don't already have the class filled up, then we will put something out there, similar to what you did this last time around.
Okay. So it sounds good. And yes, I have seen the class, and I think I'm really, don't want to jinx it, because the odds. I actually went in the BCT training chat this morning and put some good words in. But normally in my introductory thing, when they first come in, I usually give that statistic about the rate of attrition for not only when they finish training at 6 months from now, we might have 10. In 6 months, we'll be down to 2.
Shout out to all the the actual mods that we have working the page, because it can be brutal. I mean, you're basically dealing in other people's misery, day in and day out. And
no, absolutely, it is. And a shout to the folks who have been maintaining. We haven't had a new class in quite a while, so the mods that have been running the page have been doing so back to back, 7 days a week for quite a long time.
But how can that be, guys? I mean, isn't the farm fake? The page is fake, and everything's BS and made up.
Right.
You know what I like the best is when people, the ones that step up and say they want to be part of the solution, and they get in, and they're not dealing with me. I mean, I'm the face. That's all you see is in the videos, and you're like, oh, how hard can this be if I'm given the class? And they get in and they realize there's a whole slew of senior leadership in there that, and senior enlisted, senior officers, people with a lot of experience who know what the fuck they're doing. And it's a real class with, subjects and SOPs and rules. And the most serious one of all, when you're told you really need to follow shit to the letter, because when you're dealing with a bit of battle and distress, because this is life or death at times. And like people just said, they learn shit the hard way. So there is a playbook and you have to follow it. You can't go off script because somebody could die. But yeah, it's nice to see. I like going in there and watching the professionalism. And there's fuckery too. They fuck off at times. But when they're doing classes and they're following along from, their what do you call it? Shadowing on the page.
Yeah. Actually,
this moderator.
This group's not too terribly far from getting to that point. They're still working with the technicalities, and that's, you touched on that a little bit. Like, every different web browser calls shit differently. The different mobile devices work differently as far as how to navigate the page, either using the Pages Manager application or even just, web browser on mobile phones. There's a bunch of different ways to navigate and to get things done. So they're working through that now because, of course, everybody's on a freaking different platform. So you pretty much have to teach everybody separately.
I'm in the chat, and one of the trainees made a comment. He says, "There's a lot more to this than people think. And it's true.
Oh yeah, we get people, and not in this particular class, but we get people that within the first 2 or 3 days of the class, they're like, whoa, this is not for me. This is not what I thought it was going to be, because it's not easy.
I know you've been with the organization since when the Battle Bro thing was launched, and it petered out, but it was similar to everybody, a phone roster, and all you did was check in on people. You had 10 to check, and they all promised to call, but I'm glad you came on. The same with Top and all that. Oh, you've been since the early days of DV. That was 7, 6.
Yeah, well, I was really active right after I got home from Afghanistan, so that was 2011.
You've been around a long, long time. Now look at you. You're in your 60s now?
Jesus Christ.
Well, how old are you? If you don't mind saying, if you're like Vane,
I'm 45.
Oh, but you do look, you're only 45?
I know.
Wow. You look good. I'm going to back out of this.
That's what working the streets of Pennsylvania does to you with those Amish people up there. So
I thought you were.
I thank the good Lord for the organization, and that's one thing that a lot of people don't realize is, like, all of us, DV6, Google, Bonerwood, all of us, we've all been there. We've all had hard times, and it helps. It helps you to help others. It really does.
No, it does. I agree. I wouldn't be where I'm at without that. It started on that Victory Farm, what I based DV Farm off of. I learned that. But I really would like to see this go to the next level. I would like, and we should talk about this off air at some point. But this stuff with social media.
We are currently experiencing technical problems. Please sit by.
Shut up!
Go leave us a review.
Hush.
150 characters or less.
Hush.
And don't forget, this upcoming spring we'll have a whole bunch of new products. Yes, I know I need to make some more numbered DV coins. We're going into the 5,000s, maybe higher. I forget what we left off of.
6.
And if you need any steel work, call Pennsylvania.
6. Can you hear me? 6.
Right? No.
Hello.
But don't call me if you want your fucking mower deck welded.
Oh no, I'm talking for building shit, right? You build.
If you need a mile-long conveyor system, give me a show.
Really? I'll bow, see what happens. I see you're back on as host. Let me know when we're going to commercial so we can shut up.
He's faking it.
And
no, I was muted some reason in Zoom, and I fucking couldn't get it to fucking unmute. And I was
welcome back, Bo.
Six was getting even with you for all the host muting you've been doing to him.
No, Zoom would not let me do anything. It was literally locked up. I couldn't even see you guys there for a second, so I was sitting here clicking every goddamn thing. I was like, what the fuck? Work, bitch! I was really getting pissed off. Anyway, yeah, so Microsoft fucked my computer up. It blue screen, and it said, fuck you can't restart until we collect all this fucking data. So, yeah, anyway, we're going to go to break. You're listening to Barracks Talk right here on dvradio.net live, or you're listening to us on Podbean, iTunes, Stitcher, 1 million other fucking podcast player things. Anyway, we're going to break. Listen. What's up, DVs? This is DV Bonerwood from DV Radio. DV Radio is always looking for show ideas, guests, and veteran-friendly companies to promote. If you have a show idea or you just want to promote your company and let veterans know that you're hiring them, then send us an email to info@dvradio.net. Be sure to give us a few details about the show pitch or your company that you want to promote. Send those details to info@dvradio.net and we'll hook you up. nothing to watch on TV? That's why you're listening to Barracks Talk on dvradio.net, WDVR.
This ain't reality TV! It's all there, black and white, clear as crystal!
It was at this moment that he knew he fucked up.
Well, isn't that special?
Laddie, don't you think you should rephrase that?
Mama said that. My mom.
Good day, sir!
Now class is dismissed, gentlemen.
You big dummy!
And now, it's time to find out what stupid junk is in the news.
Right. So, we have some interesting stories this week. Thankfully, none of them have to do with politics, because I try to stay away from that for the junk that's in the news, but there is plenty to choose from when it comes to that topic. So we'll just get started. I guess this one is kind of sort of it's walking like the fine line between not political and political. So just, yeah. A man wants to sue his parents for giving birth to him without his consent as part of anti-natalist movement that says having children is morally wrong.
What?
Sorry, that was not supposed to happen.
Good job, Bo.
I didn't touch it. I just opened the app and it done it. I was like, okay, it must have been reloading everything.
So a man in India is trying to sue his parents for giving birth to him without his consent. I'm sorry, but how are you supposed to give consent when you are not able to speak?
Well, if he had been in New York, they can abort him now.
Yeah, true. Raphael Samuel said he had a great relationship with his parents, but has compared having children to kidnapping and slavery. The 20-year-old from Mumbai is an anti-natalist who believes it is wrong to put an unwilling child through the rigmarole of life for the pleasure of its parents. The anti-natalist movement is gaining traction in India as younger people resist social pressure to have children. I'm sorry, I don't know anyone who would want to have a child with him, but that is up to them to decide. But it's like stupid. He's like, I had a great relationship. He has a great relationship with my parents, but I mean, they should have asked me before I was born.
It's honestly like the biggest publicity stunt in history, it sounds like, because I've watched a few of his videos ever since I heard about this, and you go through and it's the dumbest shit you could ever possibly imagine, and he's wearing this fake ass beard and he over exaggerates everything. I'm like, yeah, this guy has to be full of himself right now.
It's crazy.
Yeah, so that's what makes me think it's not real. He's just pulling a publicity stunt to get his 15 seconds of fame, because he really doesn't have that many YouTube followers. So I'm like, yeah, he makes 2 and 3 minute videos, so he's probably wanting to make a name for himself, and he's blown up now, so he got his 15 seconds of fame.
I know, right? I just think it's ridiculous. I'm sorry. I do think that there are people out there who truly believe that having children is morally wrong.
Yeah, there are people out there that believe that. You're correct, and there's also people out there that believe sex in of itself is completely sinful in all degrees, not just religious. So.
Yeah, right. All right, moving right along. Apparently, there is a coffee house named Hillbilly Hotties, and their employees, from what I can see, it's all women, but they all wear bikinis. So the city in Washington State, the city of Everett, has decided that this is unacceptable, and they've changed their dress code basically to read that, you know, all food employees need to be wearing at least a tank top and a shirt. And in their statement, in their thing, it says that the bottom half of someone's anal cleft is not allowed to be shown.
Before you say anything about the color or anything, all I could think about was, it was an itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini that she wore for the first time today.
Just to clarify, this term anal cleft, is that an ass crack?
It is. It is.
Okay.
So U.S. District Court Judge Marcia Peckman approved the injunction to basically put a hold on this, to keep it going. And she says the term bottom one half of the anal cleft is not well defined or reasonably understandable, and the ordinances otherwise fail to provide clear guidance and raise risks of arbitrary enforcement. I'm sorry, but I think that your ass crack not showing is pretty clear. And
some people have inches of crack and some people have miles.
And saying that you need to wear at least a tank top and shorts when working in the food industry is also abundantly clear. Oh, I don't know. The owner of Hillbilly Hotties defended the barista's choice of outfits as personal expression, female empowerment, and a form of body positivity. Now, I went one step further with this. I tried to find out what job qualifications, I guess, someone needs to have to work for this place. But I couldn't find anything on that.
What country is this? Is this in the UK?
No, Everett, Washington.
Is it Washington? Okay. Well, I know for a fact that it doesn't say anything about you can't show your ass crack in a food service industry. It does say that food cannot come in contact with stuff like that. But the reason we have Hooters and food at strip clubs and shit is because health safety does not say that you cannot be naked while serving food. So
there is an ordinance that states employees who work at fast food restaurants, food trucks, and coffee stands are required to wear at least a tank top and shorts while at work.
Yeah, it means shorts as in underwear. That's what the clarification is. It was taken to court in the 2000s, early 2000s.
Well, they have changed the ante and to say that the bottom half of your ass crack cannot be exposed.
Well, I guess Hooters is going out of business soon.
So.
Well, it's glad that you said that, the bottom half, because the top half, plumbers be out of business too.
Right.
Just saying.
Oh, man. It's crazy. I'm sorry. I don't know. I went to Hooters once and I was just.
I've never been to Hooters, but when we were, I think, in Mississippi, someone had delivered it or had it delivered, their chicken wings or whatever. That's the closest I've ever come to Hooters, besides passing them on the freeway. So,
see, my problem is more power to you. You want to fucking wear a bikini to work, but at the same time, that's kind of screaming to men, please, I am available even if I don't want to be with you.
Yeah.
It's not about female empowerment. I'm sorry, but people got to think about this stuff.
Well, see, if a guy doesn't wear his shirt, he's just being manly and showing off what he's got. He doesn't want people to come hit on him. But yeah, a woman does it, and it's empowerment. And I'm like, really? Jason Momoa hates getting hit on by women. He literally hates it. He tried to get into the industry without them going by his looks, but yet they wouldn't take him without his looks. Like, that's how everybody judges him. But yet, every woman that talks about Jason Momoa, who also sounds like a fucking drink, as in mimosa. But anyway, they're like, he looks like a fruity drink to me. But they're always like, oh, look at him. I'd love to blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, really? And you're the bitch that's always like, I wish men would stop DMing me their dick pics. Like, shut the fuck up. Get the hell out of here, hypocrite. Sorry, I went on a rat. Anyway,
I don't-
back to Junk in the News.
I don't think that he's all that good looking. I just Googled him.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying he is or isn't because I'm a dude, but the first time I ever heard Jason Momoa, I was like, "Oh, you mean mimosa, as in the fruity drink?" And they were like, "No, Momoa," and I was like, "He looks like a fruity drink." Anyway,
I mean, I don't. Oh goodness! All right. Moving right along. This one came from who else? Recoil. Attempted burglar with history of forced molestation arrested with taser and a large sex toy. This happened in Mobile, Alabama. And it's not even, I can't even say that he's a man because he looks like he's 5, but he's a teenager. 19-year-old Daniel Bennett was arrested on February 4th after a homeowner on Matlock Road spotted Bennett attempting to break in through her kitchen window. The homeowner screamed and Bennett fled the scene. So he didn't even succeed in breaking and entering. Jesus Christ. Sheriff's deputies spoke to several homeowners in the area who reported spotting a man fitting Bennett's description approaching several houses. And when he was arrested, Bennett was carrying a taser, a pair of hairstyling scissors, a pack of razor blades, and a large rubber sex toy with a tube attached to it. Bennett was arrested and charged with attempted second-degree burglary and a probation violation. And the probation violation, he was on probation because in 2018, so just not too long ago, Bennett was arrested for breaking into a barn stall and sexually molesting a horse.
A horse.
It does not state whether it was a male or female horse. Either way, it's kind of wrong. Well, it's really wrong. And what's he doing with hairstyling scissors?
It's like, I'm going to cut your hair and ram you with this big rubber dick.
Right?
And his getaway vehicle choice was his bicycle.
must have had a dildo attached to it too.
Better ride away like the Wicked
seat.
Witch of the West.
Just no seat, that's all.
I'm like, and he seriously looks like he's like 5.
Like the getaway Huffy.
Well, maybe he'll think twice before trying to burglarize another home. This one is pretty funny, if I do say so myself. Well, most of them are. An inmate's escape plan fell through, no pun intended, when he tried crawling through a ceiling. So this guy, he's not very smart. He tried to plan a jailbreak, and so he crawled up into the ceiling, okay, in a medical room, and jail officers went through an adjacent room. When they entered the medical room, Ayers had made his way into the ceiling. Ayers proceeded to crawl through the overhead vent, but unfortunately for him, a part of the ceiling in a booking area room collapsed and he fell through. He was met by 3 officers with guns pointed at him. Obviously, his plan did not work out. At least he fell into a booking room.
Wait a second. Did I just hear someone say, "Oh my fucking god"?
I didn't hear anyone say anything.
Somebody's getting his ass beaten in Call of Duty again. He's back.
I knew it. I knew I heard that in the background. Oh my fucking god. Sorry, I had to interrupt you on that one, Google.
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm muting, sorry.
Ayers, who has been an inmate since December on a warrant for failing to appear in court for a battery charge, has since been charged with attempted escape, a felony, and criminal mischief, and a misdemeanor. So there you go. Don't go crawling through the ceiling when you are trying to escape from prison. It does not work out.
Who would have thunk it?
I know, right? My God.
I find it much easier just to stay out of prison.
I know. Oh man, I'm surprised Six didn't have anything to say on that story.
He probably fell asleep.
Yeah, right. All right.
I'm just eating the chocolate chip cookies. And you get mad.
Man. Oh my goodness. All right.
Hey,
I have
wait.
two stories left.
I bet I can fix 6.
All right. Last 2 stories of the night. Just an FYI. As of yet, PETA has not commented on either of these 2 stories coming up. A runner strangled mountain lion after animal attacked him. This happened in Colorado. So wildlife officials say a man who fought off a young mountain lion on a northern Colorado trail killed the animal by strangling it. Colorado Parks and Wildlife says the man was running alone near Fort Collins when the lion attacked him from behind after the movement apparently triggered its hunting instincts. A spokeswoman for Colorado Parks and Wildlife says the man told investigators he choked it, and an examination of the animal confirmed that. Now, here's the crazy part. So this mountain lion attacked this runner. The runner, jumped on his back somehow and strangled it with his arms and legs. And so, and kills the mountain lion, right? Well, later, before they found the dead mountain lion, the rest of his little pack, they ate part of him.
Just part of him?
Yeah, I know. I was surprised they didn't. Maybe they knew it was one of their own. I don't know. But like I said, PETA has not yet commented on whether they will request that charges be pressed against the runner for killing an animal.
I'm gonna tell you what, motherfucker comes after me, I'm gonna kill that son bitch if I can. Shit.
Hey, but PETA cares about all animals.
PETA can go fuck themselves. I guarantee you put them on the fucking trail with a damn cougar, leopard, whatever the fuck it was, they'll kill some bitch too.
Except for human beings, they don't care about them too much.
I'm sorry, but every time you say PETA, in my head, it comes out as people eating tasty animals, and I forgot what PETA actually stands for.
Oh, man. Lynn Collins, who's the, whatchamacallit, the spokesperson for Colorado Parks and Wildlife, she said, "We always say if you encounter a mountain lion, be very big, make noise, stare at it, back away, and don't run. And if you are attacked, fight back." So,
choke the shit out of it.
Right. Yeah, but according to PETA, you should just lay down and wait for it to rip your throat out.
Yeah, right?
No, it wants to make love to you. That's all it is.
Oh, I don't think so. I don't agree with you, Bo. All right, final story of the night. A man arrested for drug driving told police he swerved to avoid an octopus.
Hey man, it's possible. Have you seen these movies lately, like Chinese movies? Holy shit, squid and shit coming up on the ground. Shit.
I saw some calamari on the highway.
A 49-year-old whose car was found overturned by police told officers he saw an 8-legged creature in the middle of the road. Fire and ambulance were called, and the driver was checked over by paramedics. He did not go to the hospital, but he was arrested after telling police the reason for the incident on the A381 in South Milton, Devon yesterday was because he swerved to avoid an octopus. He is currently in custody on suspicion of drug driving. There is an update on this story. PETA, again, has not yet commented on this, but there is an update on this story. The octopus that the man swerved to avoid has been found. He was found in a field nearby. So there you have it. The picture of the octopus on that story is just priceless. I'll have to give you the link because it is hilarious.
Where was this at? Where was this at?
I know. I think.
Oh, I didn't know you heard. I'm sorry. Calm down.
Why the big sigh? You asked the one question she didn't know an answer to.
I know, right?
Remind you of anybody?
Oh my god.
Punch the fuck out of you. You do it one more goddamn time.
Yeah, and I gotta go out and top off the generator, so I'm out of here.
All right.
Funny.
All right. Well, we love you too, Six. He said something on the radio and I couldn't understand him. So anyway,
it happened in the UK. That's what I said. That's what I thought. I'm sorry.
Where's Squidward's from?
Say that one more time, Six. Hold on, Google. Say that one more time, Six.
Yeah, I left so fast, hon. I meant to tell you I love you, I miss you, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.
So there you go, Google. I was not going to repeat everything you said because it was so much.
I dropped the link in radio chat. So you guys just scroll down a little. There's a tweet of the octopus.
Well, it says tweet loading on my page. So that's my life. This is my fucking life.
I just think it's hilarious.
He's an octopus on a stick.
It's like the octopus has been found. It is not known how long the octopus has been there. Alright, that's all I got.
Well, since that's all that Giggles got for a joke that's years, you have listened to Barracks. Anyway, no, seriously, you guys, whatever DB6 put out earlier, it will be in the podcast because I've already forgot it all because I got pissed off at Microsoft for blue screening my fucking computer during a fucking live show. Thank you, Windows 10. That's never been fixed and never will be fixed because Microsoft doesn't find that it's convenient to work on something that you spent $400 fucking on. Anyway, mydbstore.com, do the homeless bags, or winter bags for the homeless. We only need a few more to reach our goal, so please go do that. As well as whatever that thing Six talked about that I forgot about. dvfarm.org, smile.amazon.com, make DV Farm your charity of choice. We still need lumber for the farm. So if you have Home Depot gift cards you can send us, or you want to send us anything else, monetary, all that good stuff, or you have questions, comments, or concerns pertaining to the lumber for the DB Farm, email us at info@dbfarm.org and give us the time because apparently DB6's internet provider sucks ass now. Thank you, certain company that I will not name because I don't know if he wants me to do that. Anyway, Recoil. If everybody wants to say, fuck the world, get away from it, but still be on the internet, where can they go?
Well, you can get it away from your standard social media by heading over to our forum at dvbarracks.com. That's dvbarracks.com. Once you get over there, you can create an account using either your email or your Facebook login. Once you have an account created, you can go to the top right-hand corner of the screen, click on your profile. You can change your profile picture to any picture you want to use and your name to any call sign you want to use. At that point, you are free to use the forum in anonymity. It's awesome. It's all the typical DV fuckery that you would expect, but then there's also my personal favorite section, which is the peer support section. That is brothers and sisters like you and me looking out for brothers and sisters like you and me. Again, that's dvbarracks.com. One last time, dvbarracks.com.
Go over to the DV forum at dvbarracks.com right now. Sign up because we need your ass. If you can't sign up because you've already signed up, share it with your family, friends, and anybody else that might be a veteran or military service member. That's dvbarracks.com. I think that actually could turn into a commercial there, Recoil.
Oh, fantastic.
Anyway, social media at DV_DV Radio for our Twitter. Dysfunctional Veterans on DV Radio for the Facebook and the YouTube channels. As always, please go subscribe and like and share the pages. We are going to make you some videos. We just need some time because DV6 sucks at listening to anybody that isn't up his ass. So.
Sounded like Dr. Ruth.
Yeah, what the fuck is going on? Like, did we get another guest?
No. But anyway. But anyway, Oink, since you haven't taught this round, what do you have for our listeners out there tonight?
Hey, continue to give those Facebook fundraiser pages, and if you see one out there, even if you can't contribute, share them. Maybe you have a wrench uncle that will feel some pity on us or something. I don't know. But keep up with the Facebook fundraisers, and yeah.
Also, dvrthoughts.com. We're having some issues on the back end. We've got some coding issues. We're going to get some articles up, hopefully within the next couple of weeks. Sorry that it's taken so long, but that's why there's not been an article new this week. Google, anything last to say for our listeners listening tonight?
If you crash your car, don't tell the cops you swerved because of an octopus.
Recoil?
As always, be safe and keep looking out for each other, fuckers.
And just so everybody knows, we'll be back next week. Keep a little patience because, it takes a week for us to come back live because that's when Saturday is, 7 days from now. You have listened to Barracks Talk right here on dvradio.net, WDVR, for DB6, who's left Marquis Davis, who is working on something for all you beautiful people. I don't know if you're beautiful. I just call you beautiful to make you feel good. DV Recoil, Google, and Oink. I'm Boner Wood. Until next week, Popsicles.
Bye-bye. Hit us up on Facebook and Twitter.
That's all, folks. Goodbye, motherfucker!
DV Radio.